My name is Melanie. I am a full-time housewife who has a 6-year-old son in elementary school. Before our son was born, I used to work outside, but now I work from home. Thanks to this, I can watch him grow and also have time to do the chores. I am especially grateful for this house, which actually belongs to my father-in-law that we're renting for almost nothing. It is a bit far from the station, but the house is spacious, and there is a room specially for me to work from home, and the layout is designed to make household chores easy. I heard that my father-in-law had this lovely house made, incorporating my mother-in-law's opinions. We are renting it because my parents-in-law moved to a different place. I suppose it is easy to understand if I say that it is a type of nursing home with a concierge service. It seems that their friends moved in there and enjoy living there, so they decided to move in. In exchange for managing the large house, which can be tough, we are renting it for almost nothing. Where are you now? I'm just taking a walk. A walk? Then come back now. Oh, I can't. I just happened to run into an old friend and we're planning to have a drink together. But you're supposed to go to your parents' place for dinner tonight, aren't you? Why don't you guys just go without me? After all, they just want to see their grandkid. They said they want to celebrate our son's entrance to school. You have to be there. It's okay. I've spent a lot of time with them. That's not the issue. There are things I want to talk to them about the house we're renting. You mean managing the house, right? Was it remodeling you wanted to do? It's not remodeling. It's exterior wall repair. You know more about that than I do, so it'll be okay even if I'm not there, right? Nick, I didn't want to be saying this to you, but I know who you're with right now. Huh? She's just an old friend. What kind of friend and from when and where? She's a classmate from high school. She's a pretty young woman for a classmate. How do you know that? You know you're bad at keeping secrets. You shouldn't have cheated. What are you talking about? There's no proof that I cheated. Oh, there is evidence. What? Is there really? I had you investigated. You were acting suspiciously, so I had you followed. Besides, you cheated 3 years ago, didn't you? And it was with a woman you met on a dating app. Just like this time, right? That was 3 years ago. Isn't it past the statute of limitation? Yes, but at the time you said it was just a fling and our son was only 3 years old, so I let it go for the sake of our son. But this time, it's different. You're cheating right now, as of this moment. How much do you know? I know the name of your mistress, her age, and how often you meet per week. That much? Your father scolded you severely 3 years ago, and you said you wouldn't do it again. So why did you do it again? And what makes you prioritize your affair over celebrating our son's elementary school entrance ceremony? What the hell are you thinking? I'm sorry, Melanie. I won't see her again. It was just a moment of weakness again. A moment of weakness? You're not interested in games and our son doesn't seem to be interested in games either. So I wanted to make friends with someone who has the same hobby. That's why I got close to her on a dating app, and somehow it turned into something like cheating. But I just wanted a gaming buddy. I don't understand how it turned into cheating either. I'm really sorry, I won't do it again. Today's the last time. Today's the last time? It really is the last time. I'm telling you all this and yet you're still planning on enjoying yourself later today? What can we do though? We came all the way here. All the way where? Where are you now? We're at a hot spring that's 3 hours away on the train. We're going to check in and relax in the hot spring town while playing games. We already booked the hotel, so please overlook it just for today. You're asking me to overlook cheating? I don't want you to tell my dad about it. And besides, you can't talk about my infidelity in front of our son and my parents, can you? If you know that it will have a negative impact on our son, then be more responsible as a father. I'm really sorry. I deeply and sincerely regret it, so please forgive me. I know it might be difficult for a son who has just started elementary school, but I want you to swallow your anger and watch my actions as a father and a husband. Anyway, it's time for us to go to your parents' house now. Our son is eager to go, so we'll go there alone today. But don't think I'll forget about this. We'll have a talk when you get back. Our child is my top priority, you know. My husband has a history of cheating. At that time, our son was so physically weak that he was repeatedly admitted to the hospital. I chose to rebuild our relationship instead of getting a divorce to avoid causing unnecessary worries and anxieties for our son. 3 years have passed, and now our son, who fought through his illness, has become a healthy elementary school student. I cannot thank my in-laws enough for watching over and fighting alongside us during that time. In fact, one of the reasons we moved to our current house was that it was close to the hospital where he was treated. Since our son loves his grandparents dearly, we entrusted him to them and decided to have a serious conversation along with my husband, who came back the next day. We ended up choosing reconciliation because we were concerned about what would be said at school about our divorce. My husband also begged for reconciliation, emphasizing that this would be the last time. However, things changed within a year. Suddenly, my father-in-law fell ill and was taken to the hospital. I hurriedly went there with our son, but my husband was nowhere to be seen, even though I thought I had contacted him. 10 months later. Where are you? I'm still at work. You've heard about your father, right? I'm at the hospital with our son. How's Dad? He's in a critical condition. The doctor said tonight is a crucial moment. They've made an exception and let me accompany your mother. It would be tough and lonely for just her to be there, so I decided to go with her. Well, that's reassuring. If you need anything, just let me know, Melanie. Hold on a minute. The situation could be critical at any moment, Nick. I can't leave my work party. Even if it's a family emergency, a man has his own reasons. That's ridiculous. Well, Dad would be happier being watched over by his grandchild. Let me know after he's gone. How could you say that? When he passes away, everything will be officially mine, including the property. And then I won't have to put up with everything I've been tolerating so far. What do you mean put up with? Your father is fighting for his life now. He's already old. He doesn't need to fight anymore. It would be better if he passed away peacefully and handed over his assets to the next generation without any problems. Besides, hospitalization costs a piling up. I don't believe this. After all the help we've received from him, how can you talk like that? I just want to inherit his assets as soon as possible. Let me know if anything happens to him. He can handle the rest, Melanie. You're kidding, right? Are you serious right now? Wait a minute, Nick! About 5 days of fighting, my father-in-law passed away. Before he passed away, he opened his eyes once and looked at me and my son, smiled peacefully, and I still can't forget the smile on his face. After that, my mother-in-law and I proceeded with the preparations for the funeral and finished sorting out his belongings. It was not until 2 months later that everything settled down. During this time, my husband's life remained unchanged, and his return time was even later than before. He started coming home in the morning and staying out overnight, and my son and I spent more time alone at home. During the funeral, my husband did not shed a tear, and as a chief mourner, he was almost useless. So I remember feeling something changing inside me towards him when I took care of the funeral arrangements and other things. While living peacefully and remembering about my father-in-law, I continued to prepare calmly. That's right, I started preparing myself emotionally to leave Nick, my husband. 2 months later, Melanie, I have something to talk about. Good timing. I have something to talk to you about too. When will you come back? I'll prepare to talk to you at that time. No, let's just chat here. It might get complicated if we meet face to face. So what did you want to talk about? Let's start with your story. Mine may take a little longer. In that case, I'll just cut to the chase. Melanie, let's get divorced. Huh? Divorce? I've been thinking about it for a long time. But I don't think you and I match in many ways. Until now, there are things to take care of at home, so I just stayed with you without getting a divorce. But now that my dad has passed away and the house and the property are mine, let's get a divorce. I have already decided who I will live with next. You were cheating, weren't you? So you knew after all. Well, of course I did. When you were acting so suspiciously and coming home so late and smelling like perfume, it was clear. Well, so that's that. Can you guys leave? Why did you suddenly decide to get a divorce? You used to plead with me, even begging to forgive you. That's because my dad was still alive. We didn't know what would happen with the house, the property, and everything else that belonged to him. You know, my dad always favored you over me. He never forgave me for my infidelity, so I thought if we got divorced while he was still alive, he might kick me out of the house. You know I'm smart, right? But now, as the inheritance, the house and all the property belong to me. I don't have to worry about that anymore. The inheritance won't be subject to division. It's all mine. So all your apologies and begging were just lies to get by, weren't they? I thought I could get by as long as I could fool you. Finally, my dad is gone, and I can do what I want. Yes, I finally decided to leave you. Get out, you parasite. This is the house that I inherited, you know. What are you talking about? I inherited this house, so you have no right to it, and I don't want you to come in. What? It's also time to do some exterior painting, so I might as well do some remodeling inside. I'll disinfect the room you were using and turn it into a theater room or something. Wait a minute. That house was my dad's, and I inherited it as a part of his estate. Do you have any proof that you inherited it? That's ridiculous. I'm an only child, so of course I inherited everything. Sorry, but your father didn't leave you anything behind. What did you say? When you prioritized your fare over our son's entrance celebration, your father changed the name on that house to mine, just in case something happened to him in the future. I never heard anything like that. Well, you were hardly ever home, and you rarely visited your parents, so you wouldn't have had the chance to hear about it. What about the money? My dad's inheritance. All the money your father had in his account was transferred to your mother, and actually, when he found out about your affair, he began giving little by little to his grandchildren as an early inheritance. What? So you're telling me that all the money and the house that were supposed to be mine have gone to you and our son? The last remaining money was transferred to your mother while your father was in the hospital, after he briefly regained consciousness and called his lawyer to arrange the transfer and make his estate zero. I can't believe this. I thought I would inherit everything, so I never divorced you, and I even put up with things I didn't want to. My girlfriend also wants to get married soon and live in that house. If there were even a small amount of inheritance left, you would still be entitled to a share of it regardless of any will. Your father must not have been able to forgive your infidelity. As you know, he was a very serious person. So, what am I supposed to do from here on? That's why I wanted to talk to you. The conversation might take a while, so could you come home back soon? If your mistress is with you, she can come along too. We'll make things go more smoothly. The lawyer and I will be waiting for you. 4 hours later, why do I have to pay when I didn't receive anything? Hey, Melanie, this isn't fair. You even got your father's lawyers on your side. Are you even listening? Didn't I tell you to go through the lawyer for any future discussions? I am not satisfied with the agreement we reached earlier. Even if you're not satisfied, the content of our claim won't change. Claim? Are you talking about compensation and child support? Not just that, we will also be demanding the money you spent on your affair and misused from our house. I didn't misuse that much money. I had saved that money little by little for repairing and renovating the exterior of our house, and you spent more than half of it. I couldn't go on dates without using that money because my salary wasn't enough. That's still considered misusing. I have records of the deposits, and the purpose was clearly for your affair expenses. You need to pay it back. I don't have that kind of money. You should be receiving money as long as you're working, right? If I have to pay for compensation, child support, and the money I misuse, I won't have any money left for myself every month. You've been doing whatever you wanted until now, so you should have thought about the consequences. It's time to pay for your actions. Damn it, I was counting on my dad's inheritance. I was thinking I could use that money for compensation. I never imagined his inheritance would be zero. If you had communicated with your father and had a conversation with him, this wouldn't have been a problem. And if you hadn't cheated, this would have happened. You did this to yourself. You need to reflect on your actions and take responsibility for them. No. I keep saying this, but the most important thing for me is our son. You need to pay child support. I don't want to keep reminding you, so please pay it all at once. All at once? I'm willing to accept monthly payments with a time limit for the compensation and the amount you embezzled. But if you fall behind even a little, I won't show you any mercy, so keep that in mind. Melanie, I'm the father of your son. Can you show a little mercy for the sake of our son? I don't think showing mercy will benefit him, so no. Don't say that. I'll apologize for everything I've done so far. I'll break up with her too. Yeah, let's start over from now. Since the house and property are yours, you can use them as you please without any reservations. Why not do a major renovation? I have plenty of ideas for a new look. We won't be living with you. I regretted not divorcing you even after being cheated on, but I think it's good that things turned out this way, if it ends well. Don't say that. Please reconsider. If you watch me from now on, you'll see that I'm necessary for you and our son. You said the same thing before, but you never changed, did you? I've used up all my trust for you. And I told you last time that there won't be a next time, didn't I? No. Please, let me have one more chance to talk to you. I'll do whatever you want me to. Please. Afterwards, since his apologies had no value at that point, I handed everything over to a lawyer. As a result, he ended up borrowing money to pay the child support in bulk. Now, he's spending most of his salary to pay off his debts and the compensation to me, and living a difficult life. He doesn't have any women in his life now and has no time or money to play. How was this video? If you found it interesting, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. If you have any other thoughts, please let us know in the comments below. Thank you for watching until the end.